Ladies and gentlemen, I have an incredible gift to share with you today. We're going to be going over the quarterings. Absolutely pathetic meltdown on Twitter. And by the way, Elon Musk just unbanned my Twitter account, and then this happens. It's like the universe is welcoming me back with this major gift. So the quarterings tirade is about Pearl from It's Just Pearly or whatever her channel name is. Pearl Davis. So the quartering really doesn't like Pearl for some reason. I still can't find the reason for it. I looked at Pearl's Twitter timeline. I looked at the quarterings timeline. I can't find why he hates her so much. But he does. And he makes that very, very clear. But he doesn't just hate Pearl. He hates Andrew Tate. He hates Fresh and Fit. He hates all of these other men and women trying to help young men. He thinks that they're grifters, they're losers. So we're going to go over all of that because it is an epic meltdown and it is worth going over and taking a look at. So there's a lot here. The quartering had a lot of time. But if I can sum this up. So he says, I care about struggling young men. I want them to find their way. I don't want them latching on to pick-me women, providing them with an excuse that will only further them down the wrong path. Bitch, I have 300k followers. I don't need to look for attention. Oh my god. By the way, Jeremy, you have nowhere near 300,000 followers. You have 270.5k, and you've had that number for a very long time. God, that is so embarrassing. Bitch, I have nearly 300,000 followers. Get the fuck out of here, Jeremy. Holy shit. I mean, if you want to look at Jeremy's timeline, it is just absolute cringe. Oh, God. But there are a couple of tweets that I really just want to focus on. Tiberius Monk says, I don't think you need to tear down other people in order to do your thing. If you want to deliver young men, lead by example. Well, he can't. Jeremy can't lead by example. Think about it. From a business standpoint, Jeremy is about quantity, not quality. Jeremy pumps out 5 or 6 videos a day on topics. He just makes the most bland, generic content. And then he tries to sell you on scams. So, by the way, this video is brought to you by Kamikoto9. I'm sorry. This video is brought to you by Established Titles. Jeremy will sell anyone anything as long as it makes him money. And yet he's going to criticize these people as being grifters and scam artists? Absolutely unbelievable. The lack of self-awareness is on a whole other level. Part of leading young men is helping them understand who to ignore. Jeremy, you don't understand a goddamn thing about young men. You don't understand a goddamn thing about living a fulfilling, happy life. People like Andrew Tate, Pearl, and their acolytes actively damage men. Jeremy, the most damaging thing that I could recommend is that young men listen to you. Again, let me reiterate. You are a fat, middle-aged man that does not have children. Jeremy, let me make this perfectly clear. If a man is as old as you, despite having the money that you have, he is a fucking failure. He is a failure. You do not have kids. Now, you can give me an excuse. Well, my wife and I, we decided not to have kids. No, Jeremy, you are a fucking failure. You don't have kids. You don't have kids. You chose not to have kids, and that's the difference. So I'm not saying that if someone from the military got his, pelvis smashed and lost the ability to have kids, that he's not a man. Because he could have chosen to have kids, and he's like, well, at this point, I can't. He's still a man. Jeremy, you have the ability to have kids, and you chose not to. And yet you are going to be teaching other men. Jeremy, you're overweight. You're a drunkard. You post shit like this on Twitter despite your age. You don't have kids, again, because that's important. You sell scams to people online. I don't understand where you think you have the moral high ground to be talking to anyone about anything. You don't have the right or the position to be telling who to ignore. There are no worse influences on young men than pick-me clowns like Pearly Things. Why? I've not seen anything from this person. I've not seen anything that would inspire me to go on this absolute tirade. Nothing. There's nothing that this person... admittedly, I don't watch a lot of her content. I see these shorts every once in a while. Everything that I've seen from Pearl has been decent. The same people who want to hold me and Sneeko and Fresh and Fit accountable never hold the reaction channels accountable for falsely spinning a narrative to fit their agenda. Huh. I mean, I've not seen anything that would engender this type of reaction. Okay, and then he's complaining about, oh my God, an unattractive, overweight woman says it's not my fault. I mean, why is he focusing on her so much? I don't understand this. Misogyny. I mean, this doesn't seem normal. I've never seen Pearl post anything that would warn this, and maybe it would have helped if Jeremy would have started with, hey, I saw this particular post or this particular video from Pearl, and I think that it's absolutely wrong, and let me explain why. No, instead he just calls her ugly and calls her overweight, which, I mean, is the height of irony. There are a lot of people who still don't understand that I don't give a fuck about Twitter. You obviously do, or you wouldn't be here. Jeremy, you've so-called quit Twitter more times than Ron Perlman, and yet you're still there. It blows my mind how so many men worship an actual moron grifter just because it's a woman. Are you assuming that it's just because she's a woman? Maybe it's because of what she says. Maybe it's because of who she supports. Maybe she's one of the few people that will actually give Fresh and Fit or Andrew Tate a chance. Will actually talk to them. Be open about them. Be honest with them. Maybe it's what she's done rather than the fact that she's a woman. Jeremy, you're assuming that the only reason that people like her is because she's a woman. That to me is very weird. There are many people in the manosphere space who actually care about men. Stop watching this 3 out of 10 broad. I mean, where is this coming from? I genuinely don't know. The manosphere is almost entirely filled with unhappy, unfulfilled grifter losers. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to take a moment of self-reflection and analysis. So, as I've said before, people will tell you in their own way what they really are thinking, what they are feeling, and sometimes you have to read between the lines. This statement right here, I can, with almost 100% accuracy used to describe Jeremy from the quartering. An unhappy, unfulfilled, grifter, loser. Now, let me just say, somebody who is fulfilled and happy, they don't need to do this. They don't do this. They don't get drunk and go on Twitter and just start blasting people. People who are fulfilled and happy don't do this. People who are fulfilled and happy and have integrity don't have to sell scams to their audience like Jeremy does with Kamikoto and established titles. They don't have to do stuff like that. So while Jeremy is saying this, and yeah, in a vacuum it's fine, you have to look at the person. You have to look at what they're saying. You have to be critical. Jeremy is a middle-aged fat man who doesn't have children, who gets drunk and posts like this all the time. Now let me ask you, genuinely, if you're a fan of the quartering, does this sound like a healthy, well-adjusted guy? Does this sound like a middle-aged man who is living his best life, is fulfilled, is happy, is content? Does this sound like a guy in a good marriage? Does this sound like a guy that is living a life worth emulation? I would argue no. I would argue that clearly this guy is doing something wrong. But he's telling you, hey, I know the secrets to the universe. Just be a fat, slovenly, unkempt, childless man and, shitpost on Twitter up until your 40s. I gotta tell you, this is not a good look. Men who have been divorced multiple times or sad picking women who just regurgitate the same men's talking points like Pearl. Young men deserve so much better, and I promise to deliver. Jeremy, you couldn't even deliver a pizza at this point. What the fuck are you talking about? And is that really it? Is that really it? I don't understand. That really seems to be it. So, Jeremy went on this incomprehensible tirade against Pearl, never actually explained why he's doing it, never actually explained what the motivation was, didn't take the opportunity to educate his audience, like, hey, here's why I feel this way. Just called her fat, called her unattractive, a 3 out of 10, and then went on some rant about, oh, I really know the secrets to the universe. And he repeats this line. There's a lot of people, no, I just still don't give a fuck about Twitter. Jeremy, you're on Twitter. What are you, some kind of fucking edgelord? Oh, I don't really care about Twitter. This is just really, truly unbelievable. And the quartering retweeted this from Brinty Venti. The discount female Andrew Tate. It's good when men cheat. Now, I know that Fresh and Fit have talked about this. That, men who cheat, yeah, there's an advantage to it. Women who cheat, that's a problem. But genuinely, I don't understand where this rage comes from. Why did he choose to go after the men's rights community and mention Andrew Tate one time? Instead, he focused all of his attention on Pearl. Oh, did Jeremy delete his tweets? Oh, please don't tell me you deleted your tweets, Jeremy. Oh, please don't tell me you deleted your tweets. No. Uh, yep. It seems like in real time. It seems like in real time, Jeremy. I could be wrong. Yeah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I managed to get the tweets at just the right time because I think that Jeremy just deleted them. I can't find them again. Oh, that. Oh, that is delicious. Yeah, Jeremy deleted his tweets. So apparently he sobered up, woke up, realized how absolutely fucking embarrassing this was, and then decided to delete his tweets. Jeremy, here's a better idea. When you're going to go drinking at the bar, maybe you're not mature enough or in control enough to handle your social media. So maybe handing it over to your wife so that she can keep it away from you so you don't fucking humiliate yourself. I'm not even joking. You saw in real time how this updated. Jeremy deleted his tweets on this. Let me refresh it again just so we can be absolutely clear. Let me be clear. I just want to get this right. I want to make sure that Jeremy actually deleted his posts. Yeah. Yeah, he did. So I managed to get in there at the perfect time, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, my advice is to not act like the quartering. That would be my advice. He has some pretty good takes. Trump 2024 doesn't absolve him of some of the indefensible shit that he says. And by the way, I will continue to say that the quartering is not somebody that I would mark for emulation. He's somebody that doesn't have kids. He's somebody that drunk posts early in the morning, causing shit like this, and then just deletes his tweets as though the internet forgets. Well, Jeremy, the internet does not forget. Like the internet doesn't forget that you sell scams. Like the internet doesn't forget that you are an older man who goes online to treat people like shit. Remember that post? I have 300,000 followers. I don't need attention. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Well, I think that's gonna do it. You know, Jesus Christ. Don't listen to people like Jeremy. Anyone who tells you that they have the real secrets, they're full of shit. I like Fresh and Fit. I think their channel is really, really entertaining. I think it's interesting. Don't agree with all of what they say. Don't agree with all of any of what a channel says. But I think that they do a pretty good job of at least laying out the issues as they see them. And so what I will say to conclude is that I would very much appreciate if you join me on Rumble. Yes, I'm trying to build up a secondary platform. Oh, we got another follower from last night. 7 to 8, baby. Hey, I'll take anyone that I can get. But here's the thing. I want to build this up because Rumble is a solid platform. It's great. It allows people to speak freely without the fear of censorship from YouTube. People like Steven Crowder, it's where they go when they get banned. So I would very much like to build this up. Slowly but surely, I'd like to build it up. I'd like to, in the next couple days, get to 10 followers and then to 20 and see where it goes. So, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you liked the video. I hope you appreciated it. My timing is damn near perfect. Thank you to Lord Elon Musk for unbanning me from Twitter after years. And ladies and gentlemen, my advice to you is to be very, very cautious of who you listen to. People like Hassan Piker or Ethan Klein or the Quartering, they in their own way have many different faults, many different problems, and you should be skeptical. Don't just hate Pearl because Jeremy said to hate Pearl. If Pearl says something that you disagree with, be vocal about it. Say, hey, you know what? I disagree with this, and explain why. The Quartering never explained why. He never explains why. He goes on these rants, but he doesn't actually educate anyone, which is why he could never be a guru. He can never be an activist. He can never be an advocate. He doesn't explain, he just lashes out. Me, I lash out and I explain at the same time. So, yeah, I appreciate all of you who are watching. I appreciate the interest. And I'll see you next time.